10 questions I think can help anyone in any circumstance, whether you are already on this journey with me or you are brand new to this community. And I want you to hang on because number 9 is by far my favorite and most helpful question. But the first question is, when is the last time I used this item? And I have no idea where this even came from. So of course I don't remember the last time I used it, then those things can obviously go. Then number 2 easily pairs with 1, and that is, did I enjoy it? So like this coffee cup that I have right here, this is my favorite coffee cup. I have 2. One my husband usually uses, and this one is my baby. She's a Contigo. She's pink, which isn't necessarily my favorite color, but she was also on sale. So we got her. But this is my favorite brand of coffee cup. I do not change this brand. I always use this one in particular. She's my favorite. So if I had to ask myself those questions, when's the last time I used it? Well, I'm using it right now. I use it every day. And did I enjoy it? Absolutely. I like how I'm referring her as a girl, but yeah, she's my girl. So yes, she kept my coffee warm. She did exactly what I needed her to do. She was there for me when I needed it. So yes, I did really enjoy using this coffee cup. Could I live without it? Yeah. But would my life be easier without it? Would I get the things done I needed to do without it? No, I enjoy having it. So therefore I'm going to keep it. Number 3 is, did it feel like me? And that's a really difficult question, I feel like, to ask yourself when you're not sure and you're decluttering and maybe you're just starting or you're getting to the harder stuff. Does it feel like me? So when I first started decluttering my clothing, this was by far the hardest question for me because I had no direction. I had no idea what my style was. I had anything from like dark goth clothes where I'd wear all black to like Lily Pulitzer, like bright in your face, crazy colors. And I never felt great in anything. I never really felt like, wow, this is definitely me. And I don't think it was until I really started getting rid of bags and bags of clothing that I started to find what were the things I've actually held on to and kept. Really, it was an evolution of getting rid of a lot of things. And now I even look back at stuff and I'm like, wow, that was really cute. Why did I get rid of that? Do I regret it? No. It's the only thing that actually got me to where I am now was getting rid of all of the excess, because in the excess, I couldn't figure out what I really liked. And even though I did get rid of some things that now I'm like, man, that was really cute, I had no idea what my style was when I had too much. So did it feel like me, or does it feel like me, is a great question to ask yourself as you're going through your stuff. Number 4, I've talked about before, and it's a fantastic question to ask yourself as you're decluttering. Use the combustion rule. If it just blew up and disappeared, or I could never find it again, would I go get it again? And if you're wavering whether you'd go get it again, then the answer is no. You don't need it. You didn't need it before, or it would be an immediate, yeah, I would jump up and go buy that now. And there are many things in my house now that I would go get again because they are either so useful or they are something aesthetically I just really enjoy. Like I had somebody comment on our sofa table behind our couch, and they said, really, it's one of the most useless pieces of furniture in anyone's house. And I was like, that's probably true for you. But for me, one, my husband made it and it's gorgeous. So aesthetically, love it. I think it's beautiful. And 2, I use that thing all the time. But it's also just super functional. When I'm coming in and I have things like my daughter's book bag and my purse, sometimes I like to put things on there. And yes, it's a flat surface, so I have to keep it clear and I have to be cleaning it out all the time. But is it useful for me in my life right now? Absolutely, it's useful. So asking yourself those questions is only going to be so personal just for you. So number 5 is getting down to the nitty gritty. And that is, even if I love this thing or I really like this thing, is it something though, if I was to get rid of it, would my life be easier? So think about this. If you had an old boyfriend or girlfriend and you really loved that person, but it ended up not working out, and now you years later look back, I really loved them, but look where I am now. Look how much I've grown without that thing. Think about your objects like that. Is there maybe a really large couch that you really like, but maybe it's very hard to clean? Maybe it's hard to get under. Maybe there's a huge bookshelf full of books and you really enjoy and like them, but it's hard for you to move that piece of furniture around. And it's making your life a little bit harder as you get older. Are there things in your house that are like that, where Yes, they were awesome and amazing for a long time. So you have fond memories with them, but maybe they aren't functionally working for you now. All right. And number 6, I think most of us can probably relate to, and that is anything you're keeping for your future self or for the future person or people that you think you can give it to. So take your old clothes that maybe you've outgrown and you're picturing yourself one day, I'm going to get back in these. Well, is that going to actually happen? Have you been working towards that? Are you working out and really making an effort to get back in those jeans? Or have they been sitting in that closet for a year, 5 years, 10 years? And you're just hoping that some miracle happens, that is going to change. Because if that's the case, why are we causing ourselves undue pain that we don't have to have? Just because you don't fit in the old jeans that you had before doesn't make you less of a person or less valued. That you deserve to have things that are comfortable. You deserve to have space in your closet for things that you really enjoy wearing. And you shouldn't have to look at things that don't fit you, whether they're too big or too small, and hang on to them just so that this future person might be able to wear them. Think about the sentimental things that you're keeping for your kids. My daughter is 6 years old. There are some things that I keep. Some of them are just for me because I really love them, like artwork that she's done or baby clothes that she's had. But am I going to keep things because I want her to take them when she gets old? No. I keep things because I really enjoy them. I keep things because I like looking back, but I'm not going to keep things to put them on her because I don't know if she's going to want them. I don't want to put any of the things that I found sentimental on somebody else unless they do. So yes, I am keeping some things that I really enjoy because I enjoy them. And one day, if she wants them, she can have them because they belong to her. My mom was amazing and she did keep a box of the things that I had as a child. And I think I have 2 things. I went through the entire box over probably a year span. And every time I went in it, I just took a few things out that I just didn't feel super connected to. So, as much as we want our children to love everything that they've ever done or had, it's most likely not going to happen. And so, if you're keeping it for yourself, that's wonderful. But if you're keeping it for your future child to grow up and have to take care of, I personally wouldn't think about it like that. I think number 7 can easily pair with number 6, and that is, are you keeping it out of guilt? So if I get rid of this thing, what if my child does want it in the future? Or if my grandmother gave me something that's sentimental to her and I get rid of it? Or if it was really expensive and I spent a lot of money on it and I get rid of it? Do you feel that like ping inside of you that like, oh man, they're going to hate me or they're going to be mad at me or they're going to be disappointed or it was so expensive. How could I possibly live with myself if I got rid of it? Those feelings of guilt are, one, not serving you. They're not making your life any easier. They're not helping you. They're not making you grow. Those feelings of guilt are literally just keeping you stuck. So if you're feeling like that, say if you come across something, an old purse that you spent a lot of money on, but maybe you just don't love it, you haven't been using it, you've answered all the other questions, and it just is a no, then letting that guilt go is going to make you feel so much better. Like they say about forgiving people, it's not about forgiving a person to make them feel better. It's about you. It's about making you feel better, that you can move on, that you deserve better. And so you can say, you know what? I'm going to get rid of this because I don't deserve this kind of guilt. I don't have to live with this. I shouldn't have to be weighed down by my things. So we're going to head on to number 8. But if you are enjoying learning about minimalism and you are decluttering with us, remember to put a heart emoji down below and subscribe to the next video. There are usually 2 to 3 videos every week. And so there's a lot coming out. But if you do join this community in general, I have to say that the people in this community are the most thoughtful, the most kind, the most generous. They share everything with each other so that we can all learn, which I think is what minimalism is about. I don't have all the answers. I'm just somebody who's willing to talk about what I've learned. Number 8 is one I've just shared not too long ago, but it's the rule of 7. So if you're asking yourself about a shirt or a hair product and you've gone through some of the other questions, maybe you have used it, maybe you did enjoy using it, but was it a 7 out of 10? Was it a 70%? Is that really worth your time, effort, your space to keep something that's not even an 80%? Like it's not even a B on our scale as teachers where I live right now. A 70 would be the lowest C possible. And if you're keeping something that is the lowest C possible, it is extremely mediocre. It's almost on the other side. Maybe it's fulfilling a need for right this moment, but it's not something that you are thrilled about. Then see if you can let it go. All right, and number 9, we've made it. This is one of my favorite questions to ask myself. Think about it like this. If you are moving, so my big dream is to move to Europe. One of my best friends lives in Europe. Hey, Michelle, if you're watching this, and I would love to move there. We've traveled there many times, but if I'm moving from the United States to Europe, I would not be taking a lot of things. Furniture wouldn't even be a question. It would be gone. There's a lot of the little things that I would be getting rid of as well. And if I'm moving, is it going to be in the box that's in my car? Or is it going to be just an extra box in a U-Haul? If it's going to be in the box in my car, then those are special things. That's 100%. That's a win. Or is it going to be the box that's in the U-Haul that who knows what might happen to that? It might get lost. It might get stolen. It's not going to be in my carry-on bag if I have to take an airplane. It's going to be underneath the plane or coming at a different time. If you think about your stuff like that, think about, is this going to be in the car with me? And if it's not, then maybe you're ready to let it go. Maybe it's not that special. And number 10 is one of those beautiful things. As you get rid of more and more things, I think you start to value this more. And it's a question that I ask myself when I am decluttering stuff. Is there someone that I can picture in my mind who I know, or who I can just literally make up a person? Picture a face. Is there someone out there in the world that would be so thrilled to have this item? Needs it? Is there somebody that in our world would be so happy with this? And you can picture giving it to them or donating it, and someone gets to pick that object up and be so happy with it. That person is going to be so grateful for it. And maybe you're just hanging on to it because you've had it for a long time. Maybe those clothes that are too small for you, but I've been hanging on to them. Can you picture the happiness on somebody's face who gets these pair of pants that they've been looking for, and maybe they didn't have the money to buy them, so they went to the thrift store and there they are, the perfect size for them. Sometimes this just brings me so much joy that I'm like, you know what? I didn't really love this thing. This was something that maybe someone gave me. It's come into my world at such and such point when I really felt the same way. I really loved it. I really wanted it, but now it's not serving me. And when you picture someone you know or someone you have no idea, but you can close your eyes and just imagine that person getting so much joy out of it, it makes the process of getting rid of things, of decluttering, so much more peaceful. And it helps me to be so grateful for the things that I do have, because it reminds me there's so many people out there who don't have their needs met, who aren't getting things that they need. And if I could be a person that could donate things that somebody else could really love and really appreciate, that maybe I'm just hanging on to because they're a 7, what a gift that could be, that you could give to somebody else. So even if you're just donating it to the thrift store or your Goodwill or wherever, maybe it's the shoe and clothing box that we have all over in Virginia, somebody is really going to need that. And so put that in your head as you're decluttering. If it's something that you're feeling a lot of guilt over, if it's something that you've been hanging on to for years and you just don't know if you're ready to get rid of it, picture somebody in your head that's going to be so grateful to you. All right, friends, if you've enjoyed learning about minimalism and decluttering, then please subscribe and join this little community. Let me know what your thoughts are, and remember to be kind to one another. I'll see you guys soon.